when the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go. It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared Dubois, live with you on a beautiful Wednesday evening. The leaves have changed. There's that crisp feeling in the air. There's apple cider flowing.
I ran my fireplace about a week ago for the first time.
You? Didn't need to do it, but you did it anyway because you live in Southern California.
No, it was we had a rainy spat. It was rainy for a couple of days.
Oh no! How did you guys handle that? How did you handle the rain? You didn't
melt fire on. But you see, you make it sound like I have fires for survival. It's the 21st century, dude. Like I have a fire for the vibes.
Have I ever told you that I have a fireplace and do not use it as said fireplace? Did I ever tell you about that?
Not working? The flue doesn't open or something? What?
Well, it probably does need to be cleaned. Let's say that. I bought the house 6 years ago. It probably needs to be cleaned. Never cleaned.
Okay.
Yeah, I could, but we didn't. And part of the reason why is that the house I bought in the suburbs of Northern Virginia, not an inner suburb, but not an outer suburb either. Old neighborhood. My house was built in 1950, whatever. Okay.
Old neighborhood, read white. Okay, go ahead.
No, not now. Maybe back then, not now. But the house it's just a brick rambler. I don't got much. I don't go up. I got one level and a basement.
Is rambler a style of house? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's just a
box,
basically.
No,
it's just a box.
Okay.
And because of the way in the 50s, they were not building houses with the idea that you were going to be sitting in your living room watching television with your family. You might be listening to the radio, but it doesn't matter where the radio goes. You can put the radio anywhere.
Well, my house has a two-fire. Well, I have that one right behind. Oh, you can't really see it right here in the. I have one right there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
that one's just for show. We never used it the time we've been here.
My point is that because our living room was not designed for watching TV, there's really no good place to put our TV except in front of our fireplace. So, and I'm not doing the above the fireplace television. That ain't going to be me.
That's what
that ain't going to be me. I don't want to be doing this all
day. But listen,
so.
Let me tell you this. There's a direct correlation with how well my marriage is going with whether or not there's a fire going that night.
Okay, I can see that. I know, and you like your sexy times and slow jams vibes. I'm not a we're not a music.
Bottle of red wine and have a fire.
People. We're not music people. It's not how we roll. It's not how we do it. Actually, if you were on, and I know we've talked about this in the past, and I was probably doing better. If you're on, like, if you actually have the time to sit there, maybe that's right. You have family nearby. You are blessed in that regard. If you're and your kids now are probably old enough, you can kick them out of the house.
Oh, we go to happy hours. We just go to happy hours and leave them.
Yeah, well, I can't do that.
It does present the problem when we get home from the happy hours, though.
Well, that could be a thing. You're gonna have that conversation with your boys one day. When was the first time you saw Daddy drunk?
Oh no, I mean, very rare they ever see.
I know.
Like, my
I
wife.
know you don't roll that deep.
I am definitely not the drinker in our house.
Should we mention that we are live on the air on a Wednesday?
You're drinking Blue Label because it's just on a random Wednesday.
It's not a random Wednesday. It's when I hang out with my good friend Jared Dubois. That's why this is an occasion.
I'm just drinking fizzy water.
You're usually the one with something to imbibe.
At least I'm on a diet, dude.
No, you're cutting weight.
Well, she and I both. I'm trying not to drink less is part of it, man.
Okay, that's good. That's a smart move. I was going to say we're live as Major League Soccer has started their playoffs. Right now, Chicago and Orlando are playing it in Bridgeview, Illinois, at SeatGeek Stadium.
No overtime, straight to shootouts.
Straight to a shootout if they are drawn after 90 minutes. I don't know. Did you watch enough Eastern Conference soccer this year to have an opinion on this match?
I would take Orlando just because I'm actively rooting against Greg Berhalter, even though Berhalter's had a good season. I'm not gonna lie.
What? Why? What did Greg do to you? Like, did he do something to you that I don't know about?
Yeah.
What happened?
He called the national team.
He hurt you with his team.
Calm down, Greg. It's soccer. It's soccer.
You're still carrying that grudge. That pain still burns
What if
inside.
Gio Reyna had been?
You blame. Okay, you blame him for.
I do think he spoke out of school at that conference.
Of course he did, but that's after Gio acted the fool.
And I mean, it's not all his fault. U.S. Soccer shouldn't have brought him back, and they did anyway. They set him up for failure.
That is true, but that's what I'm saying. Why hold a grudge against?
No, I'm just joking about that. I hope for the best for him. I think he's doing a good job. I mean, Chicago's more interesting than it has been in a decade. When's the last time that Chicago was interesting to you?
It's been a very long.
I mean, I think Ante Razov was playing for the team last time.
I believe that the last time they made the playoffs, Bastian.
I said they were entertaining. Like you wanted to watch.
Oh, that's fair. Well, Blanco's period was relatively entertaining.
That may have overlapped with Ante Razov, actually.
Maybe.
If
you had to guess off the top of your head, what were the years that Cuauhtémoc Blanco was playing?
It was Beckham adjacent. So I would say 08, 09.
Cuauhtémoc. I got to get my. It's a really tough one. Those Mexicans go hard on some of these names, and obviously it's like a god. Isn't his name a god?
Quetzalcoatl?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, so
08, 09?
Blanco played for the Chicago Fire from 2007 to 2009. Jared Dubois, I believe you.
Got it.
I believe you, and he would have been one of the.
Just for shits and giggles, Ante Razov was last year. He was with Chicago Fire.
Let me pull up a good old Ante Razov.
What, number 4 in all-time goals? No, probably been bumped now. He's probably like
he's
7 or 8
way down. He's way down there now.
If my kids would say 6, 7.
Ante Razov was with the Chicago Fire from 2001 to 2004.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah. Then, he was. He ended up scoring 30 goals over 3 or 4 seasons, but he went from the Fire, where you remember him, to the Crew,
Chivas USA.
Stars. That was 2005, both those teams, and then 2006 he went to Chivas and finished with Chivas.
Yeah.
2009. So he was playing with Chivas by the time that Blanco arrived.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking, I don't know. It's been a long time since Chicago was something where I thought, oh, I'm going to tune in and watch that. Schweinsteiger didn't pull me in. I don't know that they've never felt like it always felt like they could buy one European player and all of a sudden they'd be entertaining, where it's just like they needed to fix everything fundamental and come up with a play style. And I think Greg Berhalter is actually kind of doing that. He's kind of started from the bottom and worked up. And I think that's good because I think he had a long enough leash that he was going to get 3 years probably no matter what. And that a lot of coaches can't say that when they come in, when Robin Fraser is getting hired, he's not getting 3 years automatically, even though I think he's a good coach and should get more than he gets. Chris Armas, these are the guys that bounce. They're there for 1 year. Pablo Mastroeni, lucky he bounced and got some success and has been able to stay. There's coaches that they're the guy because they're the guy available, and if they do well, great. If not, they're on to the next gig that's willing to have them.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I think that, the thing about Chicago is it's more of a project, and Greg has been given that freedom to be the guy that builds that team back up. And, he's got the team back into the postseason, such as it is as a number 8 seed, but it's for them, that's progress. And then they can say they can build on this.
That game's still 0-0 in the 27th minute.
Yeah. The second game is Portland and RSL. So that's coming up later tonight. I'm taking RSL. I don't.
Their RSL is a playoff team. Like they are the type of team that's built to frustrate you for 89 minutes and get 1 goal somewhere in there. Yes. They're very good defensively. In the playoffs, in the last couple of years in the playoffs, they've been able to make runs because I think it speaks to who they are as their identity as a team. And I'm going to take a well-organized RSL team.
I agree with you on that. If you ask me who I'm rooting for, it's probably the same 2 teams, Chicago and RSL. Probably those 2 teams.
Yeah, but overall, listen, I'm a neutral now. My team's out. They just missed it.
We got our guy Freddie. I got Freddie Alarcon, but I'm sorry, Freddie. I can't root for your guys right now. I'm rooting for the Fire to be because
we're both neutrals these days. So who are you pulling for just in general in the playoffs?
Oh man, I'm picking LAFC to win it all, even though I think there's reasons to downgrade them below, say, Messi and Miami. Rooting for? Man, that's a tough one. I think Philly is fun to root for. They don't play great soccer. They don't play fun soccer.
I think I'm rooting for Nashville. I think I want to see.
Okay, that's a good one.
I want
BJ Callahan.
BJ.
God, yeah,
BJ Callahan.
Everybody wants some of that BJ Callahan. So I don't have another one.
Do I think it's likely? No, I don't. I mean, but they got one of the best players in the league, so we'll see how far they can run him,
I mean, Sam Surge had an incredible year. I mean, but obviously the problem. So did you do a bracket, or are you going to do a bracket? I think it's due by Friday. You're not going to do a bracket? Why not? No. It's bracket season. Got to get a bracket.
I'm not that guy.
Why not? Get a bracket.
There's no money on it.
Well, you think you can be, like, you do it with your boys if they care. You got any boys that care?
I mean, part of me wants to see Charlotte do well too, because they were one of my pick'ems in the Survivor, not Survivor, but the pick'em league that we did, where we all got 3 teams on the Patreon. And if someone wants to be a part of that next season, where can they get in?
Oh, yeah. Patreon.com/thebestsoccershow. Look at you setting me up like that. Yeah. Join the community. Become a member of the Bestie Slack.
I think you and I tied.
That was we drafted teams and it was cumulative points, right? Is what ended up happening.
Yeah. So basically what it came down to is, like, I had one of the last picks and it was down to like Nashville and DC, and I took DC. If I had taken Nashville, I would have won the whole thing.
I finished. This is done, right? Is this the final standings?
Yeah, it was at the end of the season. Yeah,
I finished 4th out of 10. You finished 5th. You and I were tied. Yeah, dead even on points. So I guess we both finished 4th then.
Yeah, I had LAFC and Charlotte, which in Charlotte I think popped off. That helped a lot. LAFC started.
You ended up with DC. I don't think you wanted DC, but you ended up.
I was really thinking that they could run Benteke a little bit further. They were never going to have a great season, but we were picking up bottom feeders at the end, right. And I kind of bet on Benteke being able to pull him a little bit further.
I hit on my 3rd round team. My mistake was picking Houston in the 2nd round, like a dummy.
Who was your 3rd?
Chicago was my 3rd, but I think we did this as a serpentine draft, so I think it was. I had Seattle number 1, and it's not a terrible pick, but obviously I could have done better. Nobody
Seattle's always going to be in there
in the 1st round. Who got Philadelphia in this, actually?
It might have been a round 2 pick.
I'm looking. I don't see Philadelphia. Who ended up with Philadelphia? They got to be in here somewhere. Man, that's crazy. I don't think anybody picked Philly. I think they got
we had
no. Look, I'll tell you. All right, so my team was Seattle, Houston, and Chicago, my group. Kyle, who won the whole thing, Cincinnati, Vancouver. That's where he really nailed it. Yeah. Vancouver in the 2nd round, and St. Louis. David had Miami, the Red Bulls, and RSL. He finished 3rd, by the way. Then you had Jason Hoover. I believe that's Jason Hoover. 51. Columbus is his team. He picked Columbus, Colorado, and Sporting. Then Nicholas Soup and Sausage had Atlanta, Austin, and Portland. Atlanta's a terrible 1st round pick, man. He didn't know.
But listen, I think we both picked him to be up there towards the top.
We did. You picked LAFC, Charlotte, and DC. Connor picked San Jose, Dallas, and Nashville. It's a nice 3rd round pick there. San Jose was a bad 1st round pick, though, Connor. Corey picked the Galaxy. Oh, no.
I think we all picked him to be 3rd or 4th out of the West, right?
Well, the Galaxy, San Diego in his 2nd spot. That's what really saved Corey, allowed him to not finish bottom of the table. And then the Revs, ouch. And then Allison, I need to scroll. That's what it is. Okay, that's what it was. I wasn't seeing Dustin's picks. Allison took Orlando, NYCFC, and Toronto. Dustin, Minnesota, Philly, and Montreal. Dustin ended up finishing
second. Philly was 1st pick of round 2.
Yeah, that's what it was. Philly was 1st pick of round 2 when we came back. So Dustin got Philly 1st pick of round 2, and I had to wait all the way through round 2. And the only team that made any sense was Houston, and that's where I really got it. Did I
take Charlotte right before you? Because I think you and I were pretty close in the order.
You were 6th overall pick.
Yeah, out of 8.
There were 10. There were 10 people. 10. So you were 6. So it came back to you, and
that's
you
where
were
I Charlotte.
Me. Yeah. So the MLS season has been as wild as it always is. Like it's been a ride. It's been quite the thing, and now it's playoff season.
For all the haters, my team didn't even come close to the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
5th from the bottom.
Fifth from the bottom. 5th from the bottom. What are you talking about here?
We finished strong.
What are you talking about? Only 2 points above the wooden spoon, but still that counts. Okay. All right.
Hey, so we put out to the Patreon today. Said that hey, we're gonna do a little bit of Q&A, and see if there's some questions from the Patreon. Again, Jason just let you know how you can get a bit part of that if you want. So every once in a while, we'll ask for some feedback. We got a couple questions out there from the folks. Clayton asked, "How do we feel the MLS Apple TV deal is going? I was a casual MLS watcher with no team, and I haven't watched an MLS game in like 2 years because I don't have Apple TV. For a while, people were talking about how bad the deal was, but people stopped talking about it. So I was wondering if it's getting worse, better, or just staying the same. Figured it was worth a temperature check."
I mean, everybody gets normalized to stuff over time. So I think on some level it's been normalized. I do think there's a real question as to whether or not MLS is actually losing out on a bunch of new or casual fans because of the Apple TV deal. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor Tannewell would like to chime in. Shocking that Jonathan would like to chime in about Apple
he was
TV.
quiet the whole time until this subject came out. Didn't even know he was in there until
didn't even know he was there.
I think I have my take on this is very, very simple. There's people out there that are trying to break down the numbers, the value, the ROI, the exposure that you're missing, but not all that's great. Someone can talk about that. Maybe JTT can talk about it. He probably knows more about it than me. But from a fan's perspective, it's freaking great. Easy it is that I just open my Apple. I don't go if I have to know what channel it's on. I open it up. I can watch it delayed. I can pause it anytime I want. I can just watch the highlights. I love that the Apple Store, Apple TV allows me to turn the scores off so I don't get spoiled on stuff.
That's something they had to learn because for a while it was a problem.
But that's a point too for them because it's an evolving thing that they took the feedback and changed it. The quality is great when I watch it. I don't watch much of the post game and the MLS 360 and stuff like that, but I love it's there for someone else.
Sure.
Sure. But yeah, for me, super simple. I love it. I got no issues with it at all.
Do you think that the complaints come from people who are mostly projecting in terms of there's fans who aren't like me who won't find MLS and that's a problem? I mean, I go back to the number that Garber said at whatever, I think it was State of the League, maybe it was a All-Star game, right? He said something like, we get 120,000 viewers per game on average, right? I think he said something like that, 120,000 viewers per game on average. And people are like, oh, that's terrible. Ew, stinky numbers, 120,000. But of course, if you add all those numbers up for all the games that they're showing on a weekend or whatever in a match day round, okay, Jonathan's going to come in here. And unless Jonathan Tannewell wants to click the link that I already sent him and join this conversation directly, we'll sprinkle it anyway.
But here's the thing though too. Unlike if you're watching on ABC, say the game's on ABC doesn't make any money off that other than ad revenue. Apple TV is making money off every one of those viewers for the subscription cost.
That is true.
Now, MLS, does that good for them? Maybe not, because less means less eyeballs. But that deal was pretty decent for them.
Okay, but I think that's where the conversation needs to start. As to whether or not what is MLS supposed to be chasing? What is their ultimate goal here when they do something like sign a TV deal? If it's to make new fans by putting their product on the most accessible platform possible, okay, maybe this isn't the right choice. Is it to make as much money as they can in the moment because as the kind of league they are, they need to be putting that back into the product? And obviously, whether they do or not is part of the question.
I think there's a
better
defining moment about whether or not this is a success as well, is that there's pre-Messi and post-Messi, and you could argue that if Fox Sports had the rights to MLS and you signed Messi, you're probably not as well positioned to take advantage of it globally as Apple TV is. So I think that the Apple TV deal, once Messi signed, I think became better for MLS. But I think it had legit reasons to be skeptical of it leading up to that, because I don't know who would have had the international rights for MLS without Apple TV. I don't know.
They were sprinkling them all over the place. It was
they have it all centralized in one location. I think it allows.
Well, okay. I think more than anything else, what you've got here is a visibility problem, like an awareness.
Do you
problem.
though? It's the number one selling jersey in the world. Is Messi's like Inter Miami? Is it a visibility problem?
That's a good question. Maybe not. And because of Messi, that's why you say this can make sense. The Apple
Without
TV
Messi,
deal.
I think it became a lot clearer to be able to gauge whether it's successful or not. With Messi, I think there's maybe it's closer. I don't know. But I thought we had someone that might know a little bit better.
Somebody came in and blinked out. It's just like a ghostly presence. I was like, "Whoa!" It is October. We are closing in on.
But just talk about from a user interface standpoint. There's, like I said, there's the broad questions, and we're never going to know because they don't share the numbers with you and I. We don't know.
No, exactly, they don't share the numbers with anybody. And in fact, that's one thing that JTT has been very, 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 very frustrated by, is that there's not a lot of sharing of exactly how this is going.
But all I can do is quantify how it is for me. And for me, freaking works, dude. I love it. And here's the other reason I love it. Guess what? It was free. It was free. You know why it was free? I got T-Mobile. So, like, I love that there's ways that I'm getting this damn thing for free. I'm not even paying for it, you know? So say what you want. There's partnerships involved, stuff like that. There's no downside to me as a average MLS viewer. Free, high quality, get it when I want. I'm happy, dude. But I'm just
look. I mean, but you're also in a position of privilege on some level.
Because I have a phone.
Well, you got it for free because of T-Mobile. I guess it's a good point. I don't know. That's the thing. Like, again, I don't know how many people are projecting here. Like, there's this like unidentified rabble of soccer fans in America that a lot of
percentage are going to hate it. They're contractually obligated to hate it because it's MLS.
But look, what I'm saying though is I think a lot of MLS fans, particularly those of us who have been in this thing for a while and are probably emotionally committed. A lot of us will say things like, yeah, you're preventing other people from finding it. You're preventing, or you're blocking it off, and how are they going to find it, and how are you going to grow the league, and where are the new fans going to come from, even though we're already here and a lot of us are willing to pay for it. Now, it can become a price point issue. Like, it can become that can be a point of pain for people, and maybe it has turned off some MLS fans who would otherwise care about the league, Jared. I also think that more than the TV deal, more than that, it's the match windows that kill me. Like, there's only 2 or 3 windows of game. Like, it's not even windows. It's only at 7:30 Eastern for the East Coast games.
Because you want to watch from noon to 7 o'clock straight every games all night, all day long.
No, I'm saying, like, give me an afternoon. I mean, they sprinkle one in every now and then, but give me an afternoon game or two.
It was nice when there was Friday night MLS. There's one game that was featured on Friday nights. That was always kind of nice. I remember enjoying that back in the day.
There's absolutely no way to know this, Harry. You do not have the information to know they are losing money. Apple TV on MLS is going
maybe
away.
Harry's.
Nobody knows
works
that.
For Apple. We don't know.
Nobody knows that. So there you go. All right, we got another question. We could do that all night.
This one, Clayton sent another one. This one is, when was the last time you guys were able to hang out in the flesh, and will it ever happen again? Or have you all settled forever into a digital friendship? By the way, before we answer that, if you got questions in the chat, feel free to put them in there too.
Go ahead. Throw them in. Yeah.
Last time we hung out in the flesh was Columbus, right? Or wait, so no. So which was first, Columbus or MLS?
No, the Dojo was the last time. I think that was an MLS. So Columbus was 2013. So
and at Galaxies was 2012.
Okay, no, that's the last Galaxy final in LA.
No, we won 2011, 2012, 2014, but I don't believe 14.
I believe it was
for that one.
I believe I did. I believe I did come out for 2014.
It's the one that was me in the picture of me and Vic the Brick.
Wasn't 2014 the Dojo? That was the Dojo.
This would be interesting. Let's see how good Apple is. If I type in Vic the Brick, will it recognize that he was in the...
Nobody knows who you're talking about, so I'm going to continue.
Vic the Brick is a local LA radio, sports radio legend.
Nobody knows who that is. Nobody cares. They only care about us being together in the flesh.
Okay, fine. But it's an easy way for me to think of last time we were with it because I remember that Vic the Brick was there.
Okay, so this is interesting. I think it's 2014. I think it's that MLS Cup final that happened in Los Angeles, California. And we that is not. I stayed at your house one time. That was not the time I stayed at your house. This is the time when a bunch of journos, Pablo Maurer, Thomas
Floyd.
Seth Vertelny, our man Charlie Boehm,
Chucky Boom.
John Arnold was in the building as well, I believe.
John Arnold, I don't know, stayed there, but he hung out the whole time. I don't know if
he hung out.
I don't
think. Yeah, he might not have stayed in the dojo. And we call it the dojo because there was an Airbnb and it was somebody's house, and they had it like Japanese
sliding doors. Yeah,
and it was like there was like beds on the floor. So in fact, I don't know if it exists in the archives somewhere. It's on the same feed we're on now.
NASN.
And it's not open wide for some soccer. Pretty sure they're not live, like currently hosting their stuff. We did a combined best soccer show open wide for some soccer in that dojo.
Trevor even come out for that? Or did just you and I go out?
No, it was just you and me. I think we did a meetup at a
brewery.
We did a meetup at a brewery. I have a picture of you buying tacos. I don't know if it was that trip or a different trip.
That was when you're at my house. That was the radio joint by my house.
A couple years earlier then.
And then, so was Columbus before that then?
No, Columbus would have been before that. I think 2013 was Columbus.
So basically 10 years, 11 years since last time we got in person.
11 years. Yeah. Which I guess it's a thing. I never
You've
think
been to California though since then.
I have. You were not available.
I don't know why we didn't hang out. I have not been
a trek. I was like downtown LA. You were not going to come to downtown LA.
It may have been COVID times too. I don't know.
I don't remember. I went to dinner with Alexi when I came out one time, but that wasn't me work trip. That was Kayla work trip. I think my wife came out and I tagged along. But no, I went out for a coaches convention. I don't remember what year that was. It must have been 2018. That I went out for the coaches convention early in January 2018, I think.
Yeah, when you come out, you're working though, and it's in LA, and it's much as I claim LA, it's an hour drive for me. But
exactly,
but I would do it to meet you. You know, it just depends on where we're live.
At some point, Connor's saying, "Why don't we make a live pitch to the other one? Why they should visit? You know, why you should come visit me, Jared." Because we can go down to DC and watch them tear down the White House.
The whole city's shut down. I ain't going anywhere.
You watch them fucking tear down the White House, Jerry.
Why don't you just do it? Just join DHS and you'll get flown out here.
That's not.
Wait, they're not getting paychecks, right? Because they're federal. They're not getting paychecks.
Jay Rodius.
I think it depends on what.
Are those checks still flowing? Are they essential? Okay.
Some departments have had money steered their direction, perhaps through less than legal means. I don't
thank God someone's patrolling the airports, making sure no guns get on planes right now.
Thank God that's happening. TSA agents are not getting paid. If they're shutting up for work, they ain't getting paid. Just telling everybody out there. If you're wondering,
hey, treat them nice. Maybe give them a tip.
Yeah, give them some. I don't think they can legally take tips, but
okay, probably not.
Maybe on the sly.
Let's see. A question for the chat. This is from Connor. He says, "You guys remember that time you had your wives on? That was awesome for the OGs." So I believe the one they're talking about is bonus thing we did.
Yeah,
back when Morgan and Nikki Soup and Salad were in full flux, and we invited all of our wives on, and we played the Newlywed Game, and Morgan hosted. And we had all three of our wives on.
Yeah,
and is that still available on the Patreon?
Yeah, definitely. It's still there. If you're a Patreon member, you can go back and look for it. It lives there. I can repost it for anybody who missed it. It was
kills me. It kills me.
Nick won.
Nick and his wife won that.
They crushed us. I think they were, but they were they like high school sweethearts or something?
No, because he was Big G Stud 03, remember?
Oh, that's right. He was at
his
Bowling
AOL
Green.
name, his instant messenger name was BG Stud 03 for Bowling Green, where he went to school. Stud 03. And listen, if you got a high school girlfriend,
they met in
BG
college.
Stud.
But they met in college.
They met in college, I think. Yeah.
You did not meet your
wife. For
wife.
a while, he was a BG Stud.
And I definitely
I'm guessing it was in 03.
I was at a slight disadvantage just in the age of the relationship, but I don't think I still think.
And I do think a couple times you had to reword it for Kayla as a not native English speaker, where everyone's talking fast and like all on top of each other. A couple times.
Totally lost because of ESL problems, man. We weren't given the accommodations.
She did great, though. She did great.
No, that was a good time. We should, I'll repost that on the Patreon after we get done with this. What else we got?
You know what we should do? Maybe just clip up like 5 minutes of it, put it on the YouTube page, and that way we can see if they want to get the full amount, they can go on. We have to get maybe our position for our wives. Good
idea.
Public though, because it's behind a paywall when we agreed to do it.
Good idea. I can't believe they all. I can't believe they all chose to participate. I can't believe we convinced the three of them to do it. Is a thing actually.
Yeah, my wife would always be down. She don't care, but I was surprised Nikki got his wife to do it, and I don't think Kayla wanted to be on camera very much.
Not a fan of that. Not a fan. We're in a whole thing about how she's got some knowledge that she could very much pass along in a social media world, and maybe even like get a little count going, get a following, and she really wants to do this, except she doesn't want to take the leap and like be on camera and be a face.
Another question here from the Patreon. This is from Kyle Harris, New York Red Bulls fan. I have a USMNT question. Is there any player who hasn't featured heavily or at all under Poach that you'd be happily surprised to see on the World Cup roster? The World Cup roster is tough. To say just maybe a call-up, to have someone not really feature and make the World Cup roster, they would have to be such a sleeper and undervalued. I'm going to change this slightly because I don't think you and I, either one, would be pleasantly surprised to see a random person that doesn't have much experience with World Cup get called up to the World Cup roster. But let's say maybe just a call up. Is that a little better to do this?
Yeah. Well, okay. How about like in the picture going into the call up, the World Cup?
I'd like someone to get a call up maybe in the next window or something like that, so they're getting at least seen ahead of the World Cup. We're not saying by no means we're saying are these people who should make the World Cup roster, but maybe a couple of people that have been underserved so far in this 4-year cycle. And I got a name that comes to my head. I don't know if you have someone off the top of your head.
I'm thinking about this. Oof. I don't off the top of my head, man, I'm struggling here to like think of a name that we haven't already seen and gotten a good look at. Let me think.
So for me,
yeah,
mine would be Justin Reagan. I think that he's
Jackson Reagan.
Jackson Reagan, excuse me. I always say Justin. Why do I always say Justin Reagan? Jackson Reagan.
You trying to downgrade the man? Jackson Reagan's a badass. Justin Reagan, that dude. No, that dude has a
I think Jackson Reagan, as a former defender of the year, one of the best perennial defensive teams every year in MLS. I think it's very odd that he hasn't gotten a chance to show. Do I think he's better than Chris Richards? No. Do I think he's equal to Miles Robinson? Maybe. Sure, but in a different way. I don't think he's fast like Miles Robinson. I don't think he's dynamic Miles Robinson. But
I think it's what I think
that defender.
That's what wins Miles the spot over a guy like Jackson.
And I don't know that he's right for a 3-man back line, which we've seemed to be going to right now. But in a classic 4-4-2, as a secondary option, he might be better than CCV in that position.
Could be, but I don't know that CCV is really in the picture either. But he's been at least called up, whereas Jackson Reagan has not even gotten that honor of a call. Jackson Reagan does he have a Camp Cupcake cap? Jackson Reagan?
I don't even know if he does. I don't recall. Not this last window. I don't remember him playing.
It's really hard to figure that out.
He is kind of the more of a classic, like he's the new Chad Marshall, right? In terms of MLS American.
Yeah.
So odd that he
not have a cap. Jackson Reagan, 27.
And that just doesn't math to me. I mean, there's some guys. Jalen Neal got a call up for God's sakes.
He did.
You know, like it's odd. That seems to be a blind spot to me in not just Poach, but just in U.S. soccer in general. That a guy that gets that kind of distinction at the domestic level doesn't even get so much as a look. It's odd to me.
I'm trying to think. So the problem is like my brain goes, okay, think about leagues, think about teams. You bring up an MLS player. It's not that that's an impossible sell, but obviously an MLS player is not going to feel as sexy or as sort of missing in that way as somebody who's playing in Europe. And I don't know that there are any real names. I mean, we had Noah Kai Banks get called and not play. And I do think he is really special. Like I think he's going to be very, very good. But I don't think the math doesn't math on the timeline for him. And
I think that's kind of a chalk. I think that's a chalk one for most people. I think most people kind of in the head would go there, you know, like they would.
Sure.
For me, if I'm going to do a deep cut, I'll do one more and call me a homer if you will. But I've watched this in front of me. Mauricio Cuevas is freaking good. Mauricio Cuevas is better offensively than Freeman. Like he is.
Okay.
He's fantastic at going forward. And if you're going to play a 3-man back line and want a wing back, someone should be watching Mauricio Cuevas and have him on the radar. I don't think he should be on the World Cup roster. I don't think I'm just saying watch for him because what he's doing offensively is really impressive out in LA. And I know LA's a shitty team, so he's not getting as much pub, but Mauricio Cuevas is killing it. He's really, really good.
22. Mauricio Cuevas. Okay. All right.
Wasn't on Matt Doyle's 22 under 22, if I'm not mistaken. I was really shocked by that when that came out. Maybe his age was right on the cusp. I don't know.
Could have been. I think most of it is I'm just sort of responsive to the
well, let's rephrase it. Is there a player from the U20 World Cup roster that you might want to see?
That's a good question, man.
The easy one's Kromansky, and he's actually gotten a look, I think, in Cupcake and got significant minutes. Yeah. I think Kromansky is going to be pretty easy to say. I would say Securis is someone that I think is still a little bit rough, but I think his talent and potential is high enough.
Well, he's got to get minutes. That's the thing. That's the thing that
if you're not getting minutes on San Jose, I mean,
yeah. Well, but okay. So the guy I do a different show with, whose name I sometimes call you, that guy. He WNBC. He went off just the other day. Mm-hmm. Who is San Jose's sporting director, chief soccer officer? Who am I blanking on who that is?
I don't know.
All right. Well, obviously Bruce is there, and it's on Bruce too. But he went off and said they are doing Nico Securis dirty. Now that individual said, I know I have on good authority that there were offers for Nico Securis to go to Europe, and the Quakes said no. We're not.
If you're San Jose, you got to feel those offers are going to be better now after this World Cup than they were then.
But they also don't play him, right? So that's all. They don't play him nearly enough, and when you don't play him, then you get into that. Well, what are you doing here? You're not picking a lane. Like play him and make him part of your senior team, or let him go and let him go off to Europe.
Do you want your youth product to be Weston McKennie? Do you want to be Tommy Thompson?
You're breaking up on me, man. That stinks. Oh. What's going on?
Really? Let me know when I'm back.
Okay. Maybe it's on my end. What were you saying?
Okay. I said, do you want your youth product to be Weston McKennie or do you want it to be Tommy Thompson? You at some point, there's a fine line between when you let a guy go and let him spread his wings is this guy's top end going to be domestic and you just have to live with that and start making plans around that. But I'm not sure what his ceiling is, but that's mainly because we're not getting enough looks at him. But at the U20 World Cup, you see flashes of it, that this guy can do more.
Yeah, I think he's a player who deserves an opportunity to play soccer. I don't know that I want him to be like in the national team picture.
I mean, look at Kate Cal. He could be Kate Cal, like came out of San Jose, got minutes.
Well, Kate Cal's an interesting name to bring up because what happened to Kate Cal, right? He went to Mexico and it's not like he's been a disaster. At least I haven't checked on him recently. To be honest,
every player should go to Europe, though, is my point. Maybe not all players are ready that are MLS homegrown products, So
no, that's fair. That is true. And I don't want players to go and get
when I watched that U20 World Cup, it's Kromansky, Intimi, and Securis. Those are the ones that kind of stood out to me.
Yeah. Josh Winder was in that team. He's still young enough that I'm not panicking, but he hasn't kind of progressed.
Is he related to Elijah Winder?
Yes, they're brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he's Elijah's a Galaxy kid now, but Josh went to Benfica from Louisville, and he's been in the B team. He hasn't played with the senior team in any meaningful way. So and again, he's 20. That's why he's in a U20 World Cup. Should we be like, oh, that's not good? No, it's bad for Josh Winder. I don't know yet.
Listen, those kids on the French team and Italy teams that they beat, they're going to get plenty of contracts. There's no reason why the U.S. team shouldn't be getting some of that pub and get some of those moves.
You would think. Morocco went and won that damn thing.
Morocco took it. Morocco wanted it more. I know this is sports cliche, but when you watch how they took that game, they were right out the jump. They were ready to go.
I think I'm going to do it off the top of the dome here, but I believe Morocco is the current U17 World Cup champion, U20 World Cup champion. They finished first in African qualifying for the World Cup, and they are the reigning Africa Cup of Nations winners as well. So, that's, and of course they come off the 2022 World Cup semifinal appearances. So why can't we be Morocco, man?
I don't know, but it's funny. I wonder if we're finally getting to that tipping point where the African teams are going to. Everyone for a long time has always been the African teams are going to. They're all playing in the best leagues in the world, But it seems like, but for the national team, some of them have dual citizenship. They play for France or they play for someplace else. And when you see Morocco do it, and okay, maybe this is the tipping point where those players start choosing their African nation instead of France or something like that, and maybe these teams can start to build. Ghana's been the World Cup many, many times,
Yep.
So we'll see. I mean, there was the Cote d'Ivoire when Drogba was there. They had a nice run for a bit, but you want to start seeing these African nations really just consistently threaten. And that's what you're seeing with Morocco now.
Yep. All right. You got more questions? I know you also have
no, but I do have a tier list for you. So I've done a little something. We've been doing a few of these, a blind ranking. And we've done, let's see, what have we done in the past? We did, was it Yanks Abroad or something like that? I can't remember. What have we done so far?
We did Americans who didn't play in Europe at one point, who never went to Europe at one point.
Yeah, American storylines or something like that.
That got really weeded because Dan Loney came after me on socials for saying it. And I guess I said best Americans not to play it in Europe. And he was like, what about this player? And I was like, whoa.
Well, I'm making the list probably, so it's my.
Well, it was that. It was like
you made one for me, right? Yeah. When I had to put Tyler Adams at 9 or something like that, it was.
Yeah, that's like, right. That was
rank American player seasons what they're about to have or something
like that. Yeah. That was previewing the seasons that they were going to have. By the way, should we throw in a note about Are you worried about Pulisic missing time after the window?
The only thing I'm worried about is that Leao scored 2 goals so the worry is if Leao's firing and Pulisic comes back, it was always going to be a problem how do you get them both on the field. But Pulisic was keeping Leao on the bench. So if Leao's scoring, how does that
but I think the guy who gets dropped is Santi. Like that's what's
but then one of these two guys has to play a pure striker role.
Somebody will figure out.
It's a good problem for Allegri to have, but
they don't give up goals, so that's a thing. That's a good thing for them. But yeah, there's you're right. There could be some complication. Weston and Juve beaten by Real Madrid today. Weston is a passenger in that team. It's not that he's playing, which is good. It's fine, and I guess so he shouldn't be too picky. But he doesn't.
He had a good shot on goal too. Almost scored. It wasn't.
Yeah, but he doesn't get a lot of chances. They don't play through him at all.
But there's something about Weston McKennie that every time Juve plays Barcelona, Real Madrid, he's in those teams. He really plays well when he comes in. Like he scored in the Bernabeu. Like the guy kind of rises to his level. You kind of see like domestically he'll get some less games, and when it comes to a Champions League, he seems to always be in the team. So I think it's something about how the coach feels about him. Or
looks good. Looks good, guys.
And not just he was playing right back and left back a little bit. He's the center of the midfield today.
Yep. All right. What else?
All right. Tier list today. The tier list today is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 stadiums in the United States.
Wow. Okay.
Now, these stadiums, the criteria I had is at some point each of these stadiums had to be the home stadium of an MLS team. Okay. And I want you to do is just rank what your feelings about the stadiums are. Like you can choose it could be the longevity of it. It can be the success that was had in it. It could be the history of it. It could be how nice it is. If it's a newer stadium, there's all these different factors to go into it. The momentous occasions that happen there, like some of these have different things to offer. And at the end of the day, it's just subjective. This is really one of the ones where it's purely subjective to you in terms of the gravitas that these places may have. And I want you to rank them based on the Davis scale.
All right, the Davis scale. Yes. Yeah, I have a firm scale over here. It's a hard scale.
So there's 8 here. We know that there's way more than 8 stadiums in the U.S., so you have no idea. There's some I'm probably going to leave out. And
I don't know who's coming.
My apologies already to locals who wanted their favorite stadium or local stadium to be here. I'm sorry.
Don't pre-apologize. What are you doing? Don't pre-apologize. Don't. What is the thing that they say? Don't. Ah, man, there's some political message now that you're not supposed to, you're not supposed to.
All right, I'm going to start with this one. First one up to you, Jason Davis. The one-time home to the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, the Meadowlands.
Giant
Host
Stadium.
of World Cup games.
Yeah. So this is when did they rebuild the Meadowlands? When did that happen? Like,
I don't know, but I'm considering the stadium just enjoy the whole time. Do you don't have to differentiate between the two? Well, let's just consider.
I don't have to differentiate between.
Nah, let's not differentiate between
for
the
your
two.
purposes. They are the same building. Okay, the new one opened in 2010. So let's
just consider it all one thing here.
Well, the Red Bulls. Okay,
New York Cosmos played in the Meadowlands, if I'm not mistaken.
They did.
Storied place, shitty place, storied place.
Can't say I've had the pleasure. Can't say that I've had the pleasure. So I
1 through 8 to go through.
People are really trying to bias me in this chat over here. I feel like it's a mistake to go lowest right out the gate because I leave myself no room, and then I end up in a Tyler Adams situation like you found yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
But man, okay, I'm going 7 then.
And turf, if I'm not mistaken, too, right? Turf.
Yeah, turf. But the moment. What's the MLS moment? There's two. What are the 2 MLS moments that stand out for you when it comes to Giant Stadium?
It is Clint Mathis's long half-field run and taking his shirt off and having what was underneath. I can't remember what was underneath.
I don't remember what was underneath, but it was an incredible, mazy run.
There's that.
Nobody sees
the other one
anymore.
that sticks out to me is it was the first game for the U.S. of the '94 World Cup.
Okay, all right, you're gonna go back to that. That is a good shout. Another MLS moment, and I'm gonna make sure.
Oh, wait. Is this where they drink the Red Bull? No, it's not. That was actually at Red Bull.
I believe that was Aleko. Yeah, and I think that
had to have been after Red Bulls because he was drinking Red Bull and stomped.
Okay, no, you know what? I'm mistaking the location. I'm going to leave the other one away because I was wrong about where it happened.
What were you thinking, though?
No, I'm going to save it because you might mention the stadium or something else.
Well, remember, if I don't mention it, bring it up later, okay? All right, so Meadowlands at the number 7 spot out of 8.
By the way, JTT says the Aleko thing did happen at Giant Stadium before the arena was built. That's what he's saying. So.
Okay, cool. All right.
Aleko regrets that. He said he regrets doing it. Like,
no, it's one of the iconic. You know what? That's because he's in front offices now, and he can't get a job with New York now because
he works for MLS last time I checked. So,
hey, where is no MLS headquarters?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. Next Jersey. One up.
Yeah.
Next one up for you, Geodis Park in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. This is an interesting one. Big stadium by modern MLS soccer.
2.0, right? This is new. Getting lots of national team games. I mean, they're going there every year. I think the results are mixed, when there. But
I won't hold that against them. In the stadium, I won't hold it against. Well, I guess you're saying I could use that as part of my criteria.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones where I was following the saga of them trying to get it built, talking to the people involved in Nashville. They had the USL team to try to get a foothold in Nashville before they went Major League Soccer. I'll put this one at
newer, so it doesn't have much history,
Yeah, no, there's not a ton of history.
But one of the best, prettiest new facilities in the league.
I will put it at how many? There's 8 of them.
8, and you've used 7.
I'll put it at 5.
Geodis Park.
Geodis Park at 5. Here we go.
All right, next one for you. TQL Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, interesting. Another modern one.
Ton of pub. Getting big games.
Pud and pub. Lots of pub in that building. A little bit of both. Lots of big games. Obviously, one of the shining stars, the modern. I mean, the fact that here's a reason why this one might get ranked higher. The fact that the Cincinnati fans showed up for a USL team and basically forced that whole situation. Like, I mean, yes, you needed the money.
Was that stadium was built for the USL team, right? It was not built for MLS.
No, it was built for MLS after they got into it. Because they were playing.
The timing was really close to their start.
Yeah, it was fairly quick because they were blowing the doors off playing in that football stadium in Cincinnati. back
JTT
when John
saying,
Hart.
"Have you been yet? Location is a big plus. It's in Ohio, so location can't be that good."
I have not. Ooh, that is mean and rough and rude of you to say.
It smells like cheese and spaghetti.
Why would you do that? Why would you do such things? Just because when you're downwind of the tire plant? No, I don't know. I don't know what happens in Cincinnati.
So Skyline Stadium. Where do you feel on Skyline Stadium?
It's a good one, man.
Getting big MLS games.
I think I rate this. I think I rate this higher than Geodis, and I've already put Geodis at 5. So I think I got to go for it. I might be boxing myself in here. This might be a problem.
TQL Stadium, Cincinnati, number 4. Next up for you, Mr. Jason Davis.
Yeah.
Here's a fun one.
Here we go.
RFK.
Okay, so this is where the thing happened I was going to bring up because I was.
Oh, is this Raccoon Gate?
No, this is Eddie Gavin plays goalkeeper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when Bob.
Here's the thing, and we're already hitting on it, right? RFK has more stories per seat than any other stadium in U.S. soccer lore.
This is the first. Well, I guess technically, if you're talking about the original Meadowlands, that doesn't.
JTT already putting number 1, but it's a crap hole too. That's the other side of it, though.
Yeah, but it was our crap hole. It was our crap hole. Like I saw Washington Nationals baseball in that building when they first moved from Montreal. In addition, I never went to an NFL game there. Even though I lived here during the era when they were still playing in that building, I never went to a game. I was young and then I moved away. So that's a whole thing. Now
they're any stadiums have more personality than RFK?
No, man. And here's the thing about going to a soccer match. This is the later era. I wasn't around for wasn't going to games when they were winning MLS Cup titles in the 90s. It's the Barra Brava, but it's the bouncing stands.
Yes.
Like the bouncing stands made that place.
I remember
amazing.
1996 to 1999 watching MLS games, and every fan, you can poo-poo it if you want, if you're not honest with yourself. For those of us that were there, every team wished we had the Barra Brava. Every team.
Yeah, it was great.
Think about it. It was center field midline. It was right in the middle of the field, right where the most expensive seats are normally. They didn't put them in the corner or anything like that.
Yeah,
it was right on camera every game.
Well, that was after the football team had moved out, and the baseball team had moved out, and it was just DC United who was playing there. And those stands bounced because they were stands you could push back to create more space. I think for baseball is what that
and
was.
It was the first true, I feel, immigrant.
Oh man! So I will say this. One of the I gotta go really far back in the brain, but one of the first things I did covering soccer after launching a blog and a little podcast nobody listened to, I was just trying to get my feet wet and write. And I don't know if you remember. I think it was called. Was it MLS Daily? Or US Soccer Daily or something. It was one of
the Soccer Daily.
One of the blogs, and this guy had a little bit of an audience, and enough of one that I got a press credential through his website for DC United to go and cover them at RFK.
You're rubbing elbows with Goff.
It was like my first experience, and that press box, JTT will tell you, it was a thing. Oh, I also went to. I believe it was the last U.S. game ever played there when we played Germany in a friendly. They filled the joint up. It was definitely the last game they went up all the way to the rafters with letting people in the building because they closed off the upper deck for the later years with DC United. There was no reason to have anybody up there because they weren't going to get those crowds. That was a game in which Josie scored, Deuce scored. I want to say
I think the Charlie Davies game was in RFK too, wasn't it? Everyone held
Charlie Davies game was at RFK. Yep, yeah. That was definitely that's on the list of things that happened.
So much lore, dude.
So much cup finals. I mean, there was I'll put it at 1. For sentimental reasons, I'll put it at 1.
I totally understand. I think you can make the case for maybe one of these that we may talk about, but I mean, the only knock on RFK is the fact it was RFK. It was dilapidated and rough and raccoons in the rafters, all those kind of things we heard about back in the day. But all right, next one for you.
Character. And that's this is the thing real quick, just to put it, I just want to say this. I'm a baseball fan, from my earliest memories of caring about sports. Baseball was was my thing. And one of the things that attracted me to baseball was the history of baseball, right? Just the deep lore, and you can learn about it for days and days and days and read about all these things and watch all the documentaries. And, every little kid who loves baseball wants to go to Fenway, to Wrigley, and to Tiger Stadium.
Yeah.
They tore down Tiger Stadium, never got there. I still haven't been to Wrigley. I don't know how that hasn't happened yet. But RFK was as close as we were going to get. Was it as cool as those places? No, but because we didn't let it become cool, right? It became a place that only the local soccer team played in.
It's like that local warehouse that had the best raves.
Yeah, sure.
Down by the port.
It's a dive bar. It's just your favorite dive bar.
Yeah.
We didn't respect it enough. And obviously it wasn't going to stand once DC United, and they needed to move on, but man, it's stuck.
All right. So you have used number 1, number 4, number 5, and number 7. Okay. So 2, 3, 6, and 8 are available. 2, 3, 6, and 8 are available.
2, 3, 6, and 8. 2, 3, 6, and 8.
Next up for you, Mr. Jason Davis.
That might be my code for something. Yes, go ahead.
Lumen Field, Seattle.
Lumen Field, Seattle.
Formerly, what was it? Qualcomm? No, what was it before? What was it before?
Qualcomm was in San Diego.
San Diego.
It was
one of the other tech companies. I don't remember which one.
Quest Field, I believe, is what it was.
Lumen Field, Seattle. Home of one of the best atmospheres in MLS.
Okay, real quick, because I believe SEO Spider is talking about RFK. Saw the Tibetan Freedom concert there in the late 90s with Pearl Jam and REM headlining. Bunch of people struck by lightning. It's not soccer related. It's not why it's ranked number 1. But I went to many a concert at RFK Stadium, HF Festival, whatever it was called. I'm sure Mr. Tannenwald remembers at least happening, even if he maybe didn't. I don't know if he went to them. Things went down in that building. Anyway, okay.
I can see JTT following REM on tour.
REM, interesting.
That's right here. That was when
I saw Limp Bizkit.
Oh, wow.
That was the era, man. It was like I was going off to college in 99 or something. I came back from school to go to this concert. Limp Bizkit with Run DMC coming out of special guest.
And you did it all for the nookie, huh?
It was man, there was a mosh pit. I might have been in it. It was a long time ago. All right.
Lumen Field, like I said, home of one of the best fan environments in MLS.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, turf.
Yeah, that definitely is a strike against it. I'll say this though.
First team to have flamethrowers behind the goal.
Going back to those days when I was just starting writing about soccer in America, right? When I started my blog in late 2008. So 2009, the Sounders debuted. There was their first year in MLS. They obviously existed before that, but in MLS. And I remember watching those crowds on television back when MLS was on ESPN and Fox or whatever it was, and just being blown away that could happen in our country. For our sport in our domestic league.
That stadium has welcomed a lot of trophies home. A lot of trophies have been won.
I was at the last MLS Cup final there. That was 2019 before COVID hit. It's the last game I can remember, the last MLS game I can remember covering. I haven't been able to go back. I haven't covered
it.
MLS
Listen, the downside though, it's a football stadium. It's a football stadium.
It is, man, but when it's full, it doesn't feel like a football stadium. I'll tell you that.
But what about the ACL?
The Super Bowl thing is annoying. The ball bouncing around is annoying. By the way, Chicago Fire are going to go and face off against the Union in the next round, based on what I'm seeing.
Think about the iconic games. Remember those first years, the Seattle Portland games in that stadium. When I think of Seattle, I think of Deuce and Obafemi Martins, that kind of thing, like
Chad Marshall. All that stuff. I mean, those guys, some
iconic teams have played in that stadium. But like I said, it has its downsides though, because it's probably the only football field stadium that doesn't need a new stadium. Right,
but they're still talking about it. Work. They're still talking about it. I talked to Jeremiah O'Shan from Sounder at Heart not that long ago, a couple months ago, about the idea, because
unlike New England, Foxborough, you don't hear anyone really saying you got to get out of that stadium. Like that's not really a thing that's said about Seattle.
Not in the same way, because they do fill it up because it's downtown. It's in Seattle, whereas
you got 60,000 people in it.
You got to go outside of you got to go way outside of Boston and way outside of Providence or whatever to get to Foxborough. It doesn't feel like it's central.
You got 2, 3, 6, and 8 left.
I'll put it at 3. I really liked going and watching games. That MLS Cup final in 2019 was brilliant.
Okay. All right, next one for you then. Next one's gonna be Lower.com Field, Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, I went to the opening game. I went to the opening game there.
No, I'm talking about. Remember, it's not just Lower.com Field. It's the same property. Like it's I'm considering Columbus. It's on the same property, right?
You can't. No, it's not. You can't throw
Oh,
Crew
I thought it
Stadium
was
and
on the
Lower
same property.
Not even close. No.
My bad then. I thought it was on the same property. In that case, let me change. I want to talk about the original then. I don't want to talk about
they still play games at historic. They call it historic. They call it historic. Think about that for a second. They call a stadium built in 1999 historic Crew Stadium.
I want Crew Stadium then. So
Crew 2 plays there. You want Crew Stadium?
I do not want Lower.com. I want Crew Stadium.
You don't want Lower.com. Okay, Lower.com is a proper, small, modern American soccer stadium.
I really thought they just demolished and they made it on the same property. I apologize.
No. Okay,
Crew Stadium,
man. Well, now I'm kind of.
This was the point, is to give you that.
What do I have
really
left?
The nostalgic heartstrings. You have left 2, 6, and 8.
2, 6, and 8. I think it's got to go at 6. I think it's got to go at 6. I know there's
all the Dos Cesaros.
I know, but
in fact, the last time one of the only times you and I have been together was at that stadium, and you're going to denigrate it.
Oh, man, it's tough.
We watched Deuce intentionally miss a penalty
we did. I wish we were on the other. I wish that had happened on our end instead of
that was the Sam's Army end or whatever it was, or American Outlaws end.
AO end is where it happened. We were on the other side of the stadium.
We watched Frankie Hayda pump up the crowd.
We did. He popped out of nowhere. Like
we were supposed to host a meetup, and U.S. Soccer fucked us.
Yes, that's true. Can we say that? Are you allowed to say that?
I can. I have no skin in the game.
Man, yeah. Well, I think we've told that story, but yeah,
we've told that story.
We also got screwed by technology when we were out in the parking lot. We were supposed to be doing a live show, and Jimmy Conrad was there with his Winnebago or whatever he was driving around the country.
A little bit of pickup with Jimmy.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. All
right, but Crew Stadium, you're saying 6.
No, I'll put it at 1.
RFK is 1.
I'm sorry, 2 then. 2 because I got 2 left.
I don't want to change my mind. I was just giving you shit.
No, you're right. You're right. If I'm gonna go with the nostalgia and the love of the history and what happened in that building for RFK, then I've got to be willing to give Crew Stadium the same kind of love. And
the cold winter games that Mexico hated to go to, like the true one home field advantage America had in this country.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with 2.
Okay, I'm pumping it up. I feel like I should have been there too. Okay, so I'm kind of playing my own role in this.
I hope I didn't mess this up though. That's all.
You might feel a little bit bad, but I think you can justify. All right, so you have 6 and 8 remaining. Next one for you. The Rose Bowl, Los Angeles, California.
So
former home of the Galaxy.
I know. I don't have a lot of warm feelings about the Rose Bowl.
Before you start saying that, let me give you a couple facts here. Okay. Home of the Columbia game, home of the USA Brazil game in 94, where the 1999 women's team won their iconic.
That is true. That is true. But unlike Crew Stadium, and I know RFK had a lot of football played in it. I know. And I probably am not being fair. The Rose Bowl is a football stadium.
It's 100,000 damn people. Okay.
It's 100,000 people in a bowl. It is the wildest. I know it's big.
Hot as shit.
It's hot as shit.
There's no parking lot. You park on a golf course.
I know.
$50 to do it.
They couldn't play a game fairly recently at the Rose Bowl. Was it going to be the Galaxy LAFC match got postponed because it was raining and the golf course was going to be too wet for
also, home of one of the best El Tráficos ever. There's 94,000 people in that stadium for that MLS game. It's still the highest attended MLS game of all time, I believe.
Yeah, it's not a good stadium.
It's a good stadium, but not for soccer. It's good for it. I say this: it is the best spectacle stadium we have in the U.S.
Really,
when your event is a spectacle.
Really, you think it's better than
final? It's worthy of a World Cup final.
No, do you think so? Really,
the college football history, but I
don't even think I don't even think it rates among college football stadiums. Like Michigan Stadium's probably higher than the Rose Bowl in a lot of people's minds.
Name a big game that's happened in that stadium outside of football.
Oh, well, they played Real Madrid, Manchester United in a preseason friendly there and got 100,000.
Preseason friendly. Roberto Baggio missed a penalty kick to lose the World Cup in Rose Bowl.
I know. What I got left?
You got 6 and 8.
It's got to be 8. It's got to be 8. It's got to be 8. I'm sorry. It's got to be 8.
Jared Dubois saw his first MLS game ever in 1996.
Like I even have a like a close friend who's from Pasadena, and he's so I can't I do have some connection to the idea of like respecting Pasadena and the Rose Bowl, and I still can't get myself to do it. I can't do it.
Do you realize Jorge Campos did amazing things on that field?
I'm sure he did. He
scored goals. A goalkeeper scored goals on that field. Okay,
that's great for him. Let's finish this.
Your last one, which is going to be officially your number 6 stadium in the United States. Do you have any idea what I'm going to say here?
Let's see.
Anyone you were worried about or anything like that, or like? I gave you most of the chalks, I think, already.
I think you did give me. Yeah,
your number 6.
We don't have
iconic stadium in the U.S. is Providence Park in Portland.
I knew you were okay. They just came to me. You're going to do Providence Park.
This is a rough 6. It's a rough 6.
It's a rough 6. It's a rough 6. Last time I was there was under construction, and I didn't see a game. I was just doing my radio show from the press box,
or as I call it, Gelled Win.
It is dope. Like where it is, how you walk up to it, what it looks like, the vibes around it, like all of that is very cool. It is very cool.
Things it has working against it though. Small, bit older.
I did go to the MLS Cup final there. I forgot about that. When NYCFC beat Portland, I was there.
You have to cross the ice agent lines to get there. I mean, there's got things working against it, but for a time,
you just have to push past the frogs. That's the only thing now. Like let's not.
There was a time, probably from around 2005 to 2009, 2010, somewhere in there, where every fan in America wished that their team was the Portland Timbers and got to play in that environment and play in that stadium. No one sold vibe better than the Portland Timbers. Portland Timbers forced every expansion team after it. Look at the way Philadelphia did. The reason Sons of Ben was something that they worked around as a starting point for fan culture is because what the Portland Timbers did. And Seattle,
I would argue that's probably true.
Cascadia.
Yeah, that's
people started copying the Cascadia model at every place that they were launching afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, look,
sorry to the Presidente, by the way. I don't mean to disparage the Philadelphia Union, but
what I like about it is, nestled in Portland in a way that a lot of stadiums. I know we're getting there, right? And I know Jonathan Taylor Tannenwald said Cincinnati's location is great. If Chicago builds that stadium they're planning, that will be an incredible place for soccer in America.
If it looks like the sketches,
we just we don't have a lot of those. So when we do have them, they stand out. And certainly this one. And also, again, going back to the thing about baseball and history and all that, I appreciate that this is not a stadium that was built from scratch 10, 15 years ago. This is a stadium that has a history that goes back to the 19th century. Like it has changed a lot. It doesn't look like it did in 1893, but where else can we say American soccer matters?
Forget the fact that there's a live chainsaw happening inside that stadium every game.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah. That is.
I don't know. Your final rundown. Your final rundown, 1 through 8. Let me just put that last number 6 right there. Okay. At number 1, RFK. Number 2, Crew Stadium. Number 3, Lumen Field in Seattle. Number 4, TQL Stadium, Cincinnati. Number 5, Geodis Park, Nashville. Number 6, Providence Park, Portland. That's tough to swallow that Geodis and Cincinnati are ahead of it.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it works sometimes. Number 7, Meadowlands, New York, New Jersey. And number 8, the Rose Bowl. What the fuck? Okay.
All right. Here's JTT. Now he has the benefit.
He has the benefit of hindsight. Yeah. So this is the cheat sheet of what the answers basically.
Yeah. So he's got RFK, Portland, Providence Park, Rose Bowl 3, Seattle 4, Columbus 5. That's wild to me. Columbus
is a bit low there, in my opinion. I would put Columbus at 2, just like you did.
I would put Columbus at least at 2 and then bump everybody else back a spot. I think it's okay to have in the other direction. Nashville at 8 feels a little bit low, but then again, it loses out on history to some of these. The Meadowlands. Obviously, JTT does not appreciate the Meadowlands as a soccer venue or anything else, I guess. I don't know.
The only time I've been to the Meadowlands, I was there for an IndyCar race, not for like I didn't actually go into the stadium. It was done like outside, in that area, but that Meadowlands over there. So just real quick before we get out, I want to let you know I did go to a soccer game this weekend.
Oh yeah, where'd you go?
I went to the Angel City retirement game for Kristen Press and Allie Riley. Fantastic.
Nice.
Obviously, they came out on the wrong side of that. Portland Thorns won 2-0. But what an amazing opportunity! I was lucky to have a friend who has season tickets, and the people next to her weren't using their tickets, and we went. Our families went together. Fantastic opportunity to see it, and Angel City really did right by those two women, and especially Kristen Press is being honored more for her U.S. national team legacy than her Angel City legacy in that game, and I think everyone realized that there was a missed opportunity, unfortunately, due to injury, and what she could have been, and what she absolutely the potential of the star she should have been for Angel City had it not been for knee problems. But Allie Riley is just the heart of that city and that team, and you could tell that that stadium was in love. And shout out to God, I want to say Sam Coffey, but it's not Sam Coffey. What's her first name? Plays for the Thorns. Plays for the national team. Coffey.
Sam, as far as
is it Sam? Okay, all right. I was wrong. I thought for some reason when I said it out loud, I'm the same guy that said Justin Reagan earlier. So like for some reason
you did say right you did say.
Shout out to Sam Coffey. First of all, shout out to the Portland Thorns players as well. Every one of them stayed out in the field for Kristen Press's presentation speech. And Sam Coffey and two other players stayed all the way through everything. And they sat down the field. They watched the whole thing. They supported those two women. It was really nice to see the team kind of dynamic go down, the walls come down, and those two her just being there for those two players. So really, really classy.
That's nice. That's really nice. Okay.
As much as I hate to say it, it's a good stadium. Fuck LAFC.
I haven't been there since it opened. That's how long I've been.
We went downstairs. All the food is free, and all that stuff. My kids were going crazy. I can't believe how much they ate. Man. So
now I'm hungry, and it's like 10 o'clock. I can't eat. All right, if you have not joined the Besties Patreon, do that because it's awesome. Patreon.com/thebestsoccershow. Access to all the bonus stuff, including the newlywed game, which we played many moons ago, and all the back catalog of the bonus stuff, and probably images of us looking very different than
other
we do
things
now.
To go research with the time that Nikki Soup and Salad had to go eat sushi for the first time on camera. And Jason was supposed to shave his beard and didn't do it.
I did not do that. Yeah, I looked at myself in the mirror yesterday and I was like, what would I look like? And I'm telling you, man, just not allowed, not permitted. Not that there are some things that you don't want to push.
Do you have one on the soundboard there? Do you have the sound of like a whipped sound, like whoosh?
I do not.
We need that for when we talk about your beard, and you
You
don't have control of your own body, basically.
I do. I for the most part, certain parts of certain choices I'm not allowed to make, but there are other ones.
It's like you live in a reversed Handmaid's Tale.
Is that what you think? Is that what you think I live? I partly I don't want to scar the 4-year-old. Do you want me to scar my 4-year-old by shaving my beard?
Connor asking if Nikki's drunk live stream is on there. I don't think. Do we put that up? He put it in the Slack on that day.
That was Slack.
I don't know
if
he
ever made the
Patreon. And
no,
that was Nikki was in rare form. He was drinking like shandies with vodka or something. It's like lemonade and vodka.
Doing some weird stuff over there.
My man was lit.
Some lining kugels. What did he tell us? No, he made some punch or something. He told us like he made this drink, and we were like, "Whoa, that's just pure alcohol. What are you doing?" And he was like, "They're so good." I was like, "Yeah, good.
Yeah,
but they're pure alcohol." What are you
doing? And what I liked it wasn't just one live stream; it was like 3, and he was progressively getting sloppier and almost sick by the end. Whereas like, oh my God, he might puke.
The thing that people need to understand is that Nick is not actually a big drinker. Like that's not a thing he does on a reg. So for him, it was wild. All right. I got to run. We got to finish this thing up. Thank you very much for watching. Again, check out the Patreon, join the family. It is basically that. It is a family, and you can be part of it. And we'll talk to you guys hopefully next week. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Damn, dog, that's in a post.
Take us to DEFCON 3.
Calm down, Greg. It's soccer. It's soccer.
Get to the chopper! WNBC. WNBC.
Who asked those questions?
What's that for?
Here we go. Soften them up. Hit them. What?
Danger zone! Oh, it's incredible! Get to the chopper! Jay Rodius.